Hi and welcome. As you've got from the name, it's a new BookTube channel. This is my first video and it's a kind of introduction to who I am, what I like to read, and what kind of content I'm going to be making for this channel. So you can get to know me and see for yourself whether or not you want to watch my videos. I hope you do. To be honest, I'm not a complete newbie as I've already got a channel, but it's in Ukrainian and I've been doing it for just 3 months or so. And I've decided to, I don't know how to explain, to give myself more of a challenge, I guess, and do it in English. So let's get on with an introduction. My name is Daria. I'm 29 years old, if that matters. I'm Ukrainian, currently living in Japan. So yeah, English is not my native language, but I read mainly in English, and I will for sure make mistakes. We all do. So if that bothers you, just turn it off. But I'll try my best to speak properly. I borrowed these questions from another video with the same tag. I guess they're just standard questions. And the first one is, why did I start this channel? As I've said already, I've already got another BookTube channel, but in Ukrainian. And I read mainly in English because it's just easier to get books in English in Japan. There is Amazon here, but books in Ukrainian actually costs me a lot because the delivery is very expensive. Another thing is that I read in English. I speak mainly English in my daily life. And somehow it's easier, I guess, to speak English when after I've read the book. It's easier to talk about it in English. That's what I realized when I started doing videos in Ukrainian, that my Ukrainian got rusty. This is what surprised me, that even your native language, your mother tongue, it can get worse if you're not practicing it as any other skill. You will never forget it, of course, but it can get worse. So it's kind of an experiment to see what will happen if I do it in English. I've done quite a few videos already, but still I've got this not fear of the camera, but you know, this feeling like I'm watched. So I'm still mastering the skill of talking in front of the camera, because I'm telling you, camera can be very intimidating when you're alone in a dark room. There is light pointing at you and this big camera eye looking. It can be very intimidating. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? I've been thinking about this, and there are already so many channels and none of them are exactly alike. So each of us brings something unique, right, to the BookTube. We're all different people, we all read different books. Plus I live in Japan, so I can film some stuff about life in Japan. I'm going to a Japanese driving school now, so you might be interested in that. Or I'm thinking about ideas for vlogs, but this is not my favorite format of videos to make. I read a lot of Ukrainian books, so I can share some thoughts on that. I'm also an artist and I like to do different crafty things, so maybe I'll somehow combine it with my book videos. I'm not sure yet what it's gonna be. It will be mainly books, plus other things. Yeah, I guess that's it. What are you most excited about? I guess the most excited I am about making friends. When I started my Ukrainian BookTube channel, I pretty much knew what to expect, as I've been watching other booktubers for a long time. But with English channel, you never know. There are some very cool channels that have like almost 0 views, like close to nothing. And some very popular channels that personally I don't fancy. But I have no idea what to expect. I hope to make some friends. I hope to get more interesting book recommendations. It can get very lonely living in countryside Japan. So yeah, communication, making friends, this is what I'm most excited about. Why do you love reading? I read since I was 4 or 5, I think. And this is just the thing I cannot imagine myself without. A great thing about reading is that it allows you to live through so many experiences just in one life, being in your body, not leaving your room. And it's fantastic. You can learn, you can see, you can discover the worlds through books. I don't know, this is the most amazing thing, I think. Just unlimited possibility. Next question. When did you start reading and first loves? I've mentioned already, I started reading when I was 4 or 5, and first loves. Number one must be Harry Potter. I grew up with it. The books were released as I was growing up. Even now I can reread these books and get immense pleasure from it. I have five of this new edition with the illustrations from Jim Kay, and it's just fantastic. It's amazing. So Harry Potter, forever number one. Some other books. There is nothing that stands out. I guess there is one, but I've read it in Ukrainian, so I have to check what's it called in English. The Headless Horseman, mind read. I loved that story. In general, as a child, I loved adventure stories. I had the whole collection of all these adventure stories for kids, like Robinson Crusoe, the girl with the flying house, forgot what's the name of it. We had a big library at home, and I read most of the books before I was 14. What challenges do you think you will face? And my main challenge is editing. It's not really a challenge, it's more of it just takes so much time. About my reading habits and in general what books I read. I read pretty much anything. Just recently I realized I love science fiction. I haven't read science fiction since I was a child. And recently just rediscovered this genre for myself. I love classics. I love romance, rom-coms, dramas, especially social drama. I love fantasy. Just that, basically all the genres, even horror. There is no genre I don't like. I have never read any fanfics. But I'm planning on reading Manacled soon, and Harry Potter and the Methods of Rationality. Yeah, Harry Potter fanfic. So yeah, I read basically anything. I read mainly on my Kindle, but the books I really like or I feel I would love, I like to buy actual paperbacks or hard covers. I like to buy actual paperbacks just to feel the weight of the book, the paper, the smell. It's just totally different experience. But Kindle is even easier for me now as I read mainly at night when my family, my child is sleeping. Let me give you my top 3 or top 5 of not books, my favorite books of all time, but that I've read recently and I love them. As you can see behind me, there is Robert Galbraith's series about Cormoran Strike and Robin. I love that series. I still haven't read the last one, The Running Grave, and I keep postponing it as I'm confused what I want to do. Do I want to reread all 6 books first and then read the 7th, the newest one, or I want to just to read the new release? It's an ongoing debate in my head. I love Tana French and her Dublin Murder Squad. I love Colleen Hoover books. Chloe Welsh, Binding 13 and others. The Tom and Boys? No, what's it called? The Tom and Boys, right? Series. I'm currently on the 3rd one, and it's just, I can talk about this book for hours, so it's a topic for a separate video. I loved Yellow Face by Rebecca Kwong. Babel I read recently, and I think I'm gonna make a February or winter wrap-up video with about all the books I've read, and I will leave a detailed review there. I liked it, but I loved Sally Rooney, and I've read only one. Where Are You, My Beautiful World, I think, because I read it in Ukrainian. And it's a magical book. I don't know, I was enthralled with the text. It's actually quite simple, the text itself, but it was so deep. I don't know, it talked to me on some unknown for me level. Just loved it. I cannot wait to read other books of Sally Rooney. John Irving and the Cider House Rules. It's just another great discovery. I want to read everything this writer wrote. Oh, is he still alive? This is such a great book. When I was reading it, I was actually laughing out loud and crying at the same time. This is I think the only book in my life that put me on such a roller coaster of emotions. Just fantastic. Books of Archibald Cronin. I started reading his books as a child, not a child, a teenager. And now I want to reread all of them. One of my favorite writers ever. I read more than 100 books a year. Last year it was more than 120. So I have a lot to share. I'll try to publish the next video in a couple of days, and I think it will be winter reads wrap-up, something like this. Subscribe if you're interested, and in the comment section below let me know what you think. And see you in the next video.